We're live. Our first YouTube live, I think.
Huh? Oh.
This is Dave from
Dave.
Freefly.
Hello.
This is Estelle from Freefly. She's doing Instagram over there.
Oh, wow.
And this is the wild raccoon known as Hugh Bell.
Multimedias.
He's playing with the iPad, getting it all set up for a live.
That's cool. I like that.
Oh yeah, it just popped up. Hugh Bell started a live. This is Inception, Liveception.
I like it when I see the hand multiple times.
Okay, so today, we're gonna wait a minute for people to join, but today we're gonna teach you how to take this iPhone 8 Plus, put it on the Movi with these counterweights. We're gonna get it all balanced, and Dave is gonna give you a little background in physics as to why it's important to achieve good balance and what kind of benefits.
I'm Dave B, the physics guy.
You're a physicist.
I'm a physicist.
Dave B taught me everything I know about physics.
I'm a physicist because I'm wearing a safety vest. Makes it official.
The most important thing I learned about physics is 11. See this?
Oh, wow. What is that stuff?
It's 2011.
That is an amalgamation of helicopter parts is what that is. We started with just basically junk and then created this machine up here, which is also still junk.
So Dave and I would build these helicopters, and then Hugh and I would travel to film sets to use them, and invariably they would never work properly, and Hugh would be like, "What are you guys doing to me? I can't work in these conditions." And I'd be like, "You're okay, Hugh, come on."
Very stressful.
Very stressful.
It was super stressful. Some of them landed in the water, not on purpose.
Yep.
Did not add flotation devices to them at the time.
This guy definitely ended up in the Salton Sea with a red Epic attached to it, which was a very bad day.
That was when epics were very, very precious.
All right, you want to balance? I'm gonna hand this off to you, Hugh.
Yep.
Okay, let's do it, Dave.
Oh, going this way.
Okay, so some people on the last balancing video we posted were having a little bit of difficulty getting an iPhone 8 with a moment wide balance, so I thought we would just run through that.
Oh, product placement.
Did you get paid for that?
I did.
So we got the Movi, we've got our counterweight. I've pre-attached the large weight and the medium size weight. That's what you need for the iPhone 8 and moment lens. So I'll go ahead and pop the counterweight on. It's just these two thumb screws. One which just fell out. And it just screws into the 3mm.
Oh, these are shiny. Look at that. It's
Yeah.
nice.
You know what kind of material that is?
It's like some kind of non-plastic material.
It's not plastic. Stainless.
Stainless. There you
Stainless steel,
go.
baby.
Oh, that's like
Um,
silverware.
So I'm gonna push these about halfway through to start on each of them. And then I like to just get them tight enough that they will hold, but you can still push them if you use two fingers. That'll allow us to adjust them as we get them set up.
Yeah, for fine-tune mode.
Same thing down here. That guy's tight. Hold on.
So for those wondering, balance is like one of the most critical things for gimbals. So a balanced gimbal is a happy gimbal.
Why is that?
Well, you know, balance. Unfortunately, when you move, you produce like G-forces. And accelerations. And if there's an unbalanced gimbal, that means the CG, or the center of rotation of the gimbal does not match with the CG, which creates little forces that make the camera move in the way that you do not want.
Yeah, so to demonstrate it, imagine from left to right, imagine if this side of the gimbal was way heavier. Each time I took a step and it got a big jolt like that, this side of the gimbal would want to dip down and you get a disturbance every single time in your footage. Mm-hmm. So it is a bit time consuming to set this up for the first time, but if you can get it dialed in pretty accurately, then you'll get very good footage. Mm-hmm. So I've got iPhone 8 Plus counterweights installed, and they're just roughly set. And I've got these arms set up so they have just a bit of tension here, so I can rotate them if I want to fine tune it. And then I can push them in and out if I want to fine tune it as well. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, you see how it wants to rotate backwards? So we don't want to do that. So I'm gonna push these weights forward a little bit more until we're close on that. So you see it doesn't want to rotate anymore.
Oh,
It just
you're
wants
real close.
it just wants to tip to the left. So it's tipping to the left. And then I'm going to check when we go this way, what does it want to do? Okay, it wants to tip forward. And the reason it wants to tip forward is because if you imagine a line going through the center line here and the lens being on top of that, and then all the other weight is symmetric, so we've got more weight on the top half of the phone than we do on the bottom half of the phone. So to do that, we're going to need to lower this weight down lower to take the CG lower of that total body. So I rotated it down, and that brought that weight lower to bring the CG lower. So right now, it wants to tip a little bit that way. So I'm going to bring this guy back over a little too far. So that's pretty close. It's staying level left to right, and it's not tipping forward or back. So now I'm going to pick it up, rotate it 90 degrees this way. Okay, so you see it wants to tip forward a little bit, which means we still have too much weight above the center line. So this guy needs to come down just a little bit more. And we're very close. So the only axis we're off on now, it wants to stay, is pan.
It's kind of like tuning a guitar. You got to go a little bit at a time, and then you'll...
And to tell on pan, you can turn it sideways and see how it wants to rotate. So you see how it wants to rotate there? It means there's not enough weight behind the pan motor. So to help with that, we'll add the pan counterweight. And you can kind of loosen this up a little bit.
It's a fancy looking part.
And then it really is.
Yeah.
And then it just clamps on with this thumb screw. And then for the iPhone 8 Plus with the moment wide, you actually need to add these extra weights to take the total weight of the pan balance up a little bit. Is there any questions on Instagram?
Where is my movie? Where is my movie? Where is my movie?
Where's my movie?
Only
if you
three, huh?
if you could handle those, Estelle, I'll handle the technical questions. That'd be great. Movies are right there,
Oh yeah.
and they're right there,
There's like a huge
and they're
pile of
shipping
them.
out rapidly as we can. So I just added these two little counterweights to the pan axis, and now you'll see when I go sideways for pan, it's not quite perfect, but it's really, really close. It's close enough. So the pan axis is very slightly out of balance, but not too bad. And then when I set it down, left to right is very close, forward and back is very close. And then my vertical CG, I'm still a little bit top heavy, as you can see. So we can take this guy down just a touch more. Yeah, we're really close now. So then once I have these set how I want them, I'll go ahead and crank all these down so I know that they won't move inadvertently. And so a lot of the people that said this seems like a too time consuming of a process, you only have to do this once. So let's say that I wanted to switch from shooting with the moment wide to not. So if I wanted to do that, all I would do, take the phone out, take the lens off, remove these two screws, and the whole counterweight assembly comes off. But it's going to retain the settings that it had. So it's going to be set up and ready to go when I put it back on. So if I want to do that, I can just get the iPhone 8 in there. Did I put it in the wrong way? Yeah.
It's a nice case. I like the wood on the back.
The fake wood paneling?
Oh, is it? No, it's real, isn't it? Nice veneer. Yeah.
So yeah. So you can just add it as you want it with moment wide or not. What else do we want to show?
There's a question about integrating with Filmic Pro.
Yeah, we have, in the future, we'll have an API for Movi, so third-party developers will be able to tie in and call some of the features from our app. I think the Android version of that will be released in the next couple weeks, so there'll be an API option for people to tie into our app for sure.
Ooh, Android.
Android.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Can I start using my Pixel again?
I mean, you can. I won't be able to hang out with you at those particular times, but
That was
that's
a
fine.
sad statement.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So Movi is in my hand. This is Mike Purcelli, but where the hell can I get the counterweight?
From our store. Yeah. In stock at GoMovi.com.
And I have another question. Does this work with the Olo clip?
It should. I haven't tested the Ola clip specifically, but if it's somewhere close to the same weight range as the Moment, it should work. The Counterweight's designed so that you can adjust the position of the weights quite a bit, so, and you can actually adjust the amount of weights as well. So I think as long as the Ola clip isn't, the only concern I would have is that it's too light, but we'll get one and test it.
Really about it though, isn't it?
Do you want to give more of a gimbal lesson on physics?
Oh, gimbal physics.
So let's talk from the ideal state of gimbal, how it would perform. So if we could have the perfect gimbal, we would have no friction in the bearings.
Perfect balance.
We would have perfect balance.
You could basically...
We'd have no air friction.
Yeah, you could throw it through the air and it would be perfectly stable video.
So you could shake it,
on the ground,
hit it,
you could drop it.
you could hit it into things.
Oh!
And the footage would look perfect.
Man,
That's product
sunburn.
testing.
Oof.
Are you sunburned?
No, I'm not. I'm not sure.
But
How
we
much
don't,
can I show?
we don't have, you can't show that.
Oh, okay.
We don't have those things, so we try and get the balance as close as possible. So the issues that we face, there's motors in here and they have little bearings in them, and those bearings have friction. And then there's wires and such routing around in here, and those impart a little bit more friction, and they pull on things. And then as you're going faster and faster and faster, you get drag from the air, and that can affect the shot quality. So we want to try and get our balance as close as possible so that the motors are doing as little work, and when we do hit big accelerations and jolts and such, the footage looks as smooth as possible.
And even if you do get the balance perfect, the phone itself still has the little OIS guy in there, so you don't want to like purposely bang it around.
Yeah.
The video won't come out too well.
Yeah, all the current crop of phones are using a mechanical optical image stabilization, which is suboptimal for our use. And I think in the future they'll probably get rid of these and go to all digital stabilization, which will be really nice for products like the Movi because your footage will look absolutely perfect.
Yeah, it'll be much better.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Just got the Movi and Weights Moment wide angle is back ordered, anticipating their anamorphic lenses falls. That's one that wasn't a question but a comment. Can I buy the Movi Counterweight from you guys from the Moment anamorphic lens?
We don't have the anamorphic lens yet, but you can get the Counterweight from us. I don't think the Moment lens is out. I think they have like 200,000 back orders to fulfill first.
Wow.
Not really, but they have a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There you go, Moment.
Do you want to go harass some people here?
Oh, yeah.
You want to check in on Dante? Saw him wearing a hard hat earlier.
I think he scampered outside, maybe.
Oh, I did want to say one other thing. If this is all too precise for you and you don't want to deal with it, that's fine too. You can just bolt this Counterweight on, get it as close as you can quickly, and it's still going to work. It'll just work less precisely than it would if you were to balance it perfectly. But if you're in a mood where you want less precise but still smoother footage, go for it. So it can be as complex or as simple as you want it to be.
That's true.
Like
yeah.
life.
Yeah. I sometimes overcomplicate things.
Yeah, like wearing a green construction vest.
I'm just trying to keep myself
Wearing pink shorts with a plaid shirt, and then sunglasses.
These are like the only shorts I have.
Low drop barefoot. Are those Henning shorts?
No, these are mine, but they do have holes in them. I think I may have a rodent problem.
I think you do.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to put this on here?
Sure.
All right. I'll show you how the accessory mount goes on. So we just got a microphone mounted to this, and it's got this handy dandy little O-ring that's captured in there so it won't fall off.
Sort of a little trick. Look at that thing.
Go right there. And you gotta get the O-ring latched onto the latch.
Big microphone.
Yeah. This is how you know you're a serious Movi filmer.
When people can't identify what you're holding.
Okay. So that's how you do that. That's how you balance with the Counterweight. We're ending the Counterweight video with you. So what do you have for us?
Well, as you can see, Dave and I are in warehouse. We work and have a song.
Don,
Yeah.
you disappoint.
Done?
Yeah. Oh, I'm back.
You guys still there?
Hello?
Hello?
Like I said, received my Movi last week, exceeded my expectations.
What's it like to hear?
Dante is the Movi project manager, so he has sent no fewer than 972,000 emails and Basecamp posts to allow these Movies to exist.
Tab is convinced I'm actually a computer program.
No, you are an AI. He's Dante AI.
Dante, I. It's true.
All right, thanks everyone.
See you guys later.